even though Not Like Us isn't on GNX, it's a part of the GNX era. The GNX era to me is one of Kendrick's most classic.
It really is. A lot of people are saying it might be his best album.
I'm not going to give y'all this long-winded. We're going to talk about it, but I'm going to give you the answer up front. Yes, to me, GNX is a hip-hop classic.
I think we have a class. I know we have a classic album with GNX.
Yo, Poppos fam, welcome back to the channel where we blend the best voices and hip-hop commentary into one powerful mashup. Before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video so more Kendrick fans can join the discussion. Today, we're breaking down the heated question: should Kendrick Lamar's GNX be called a classic on its 1-year anniversary? We've combined a perfect mix of reactors, passionate, funny, angry, shocked, all in one documentary-style breakdown. From the surprise release to the album's West Coast identity, the battle aftermath, the cultural impact, the chart dominance, and the instant classic debate, everything is on the table. Let's get into this.
Setting the stage, how GNX dropped and how fans found out.
Raw Markman, it's November 22nd, 2025. 1 year ago today, Kendrick Lamar released his GNX album, right? Nobody saw it coming. Nobody knew that it was dropping, and boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been officially a year and a day from when Kendrick Lamar dropped the GNX album. And I can say this officially now. I've been saying it quiet, but I can say it. GNX is one of, it's not just a classic album. It's one of Kendrick Lamar's most classic albums. I said it. Oh yeah. I said it. They're gonna be like, what you mean? Well, how you going? Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it.
You know what's crazy, man? It's already been 1 year of GNX. That lets you know how much time flies. Like, we're really going into 2026. That is just crazy to me, man.
So is it too early to call it? Is it too early to claim GNX as a classic?
So it's the 1 year anniversary, man. I listened to the album Thursday, Friday, and this morning. And it's actually never left my rotation, but gearing up for this, I said, man, let me just like sit with this very intentionally, right?
The central question: can you call an album classic after 1 year?
Is it a hip-hop classic? I don't think it's a hip-hop classic yet. I do think it has the ingredients to be that, but it's too soon for me. I can't call something a classic after a year. That's just not, I can't really do that.
Cut it out. Cut it out. I guarantee you call the Clips album a classic. But then again, he might not. But cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. When you first heard Life After Death, you said it was a classic, bro. Cut it out. Y'all need to cut this out, bro. It's like everybody have this different way of gauging what is what when it comes to artists that they really ain't, I would say, doesn't revere as much as the other ones. But for you to say this album isn't a classic, it's been a year. What does it have to be, 20 years? What does it have to be? It's been a year. It's still being talked about. It's still in rotation. How is it not a classic? Like, come on, bro, cut it out. Cut it out.
When I think of a classic album, I don't just think of the work that, like the actual product, just the album, the music in it, right? That's one of the biggest factors. But classic really goes, in my opinion, to a lot of other things. It goes cultural impact. How much of a chokehold did this have on the culture, the people? And how big of a project, how much did this reverberate? And you have to, that means everything around the time of an album makes that album classic. So when you think of the classic albums we have and what was going, there was things going on in hip hop that went in with the stories of that. Illmatic, the brand new Live from the Barbecue, Who's This Guy? It wasn't just the raps, it was everything around it. The Reasonable Doubts, the Get Rich or Die Trying, Who's This 50 Cent? There's a lot, every album, and you cannot separate what happened during this battle, the whole hip hop civil war and everything encompassing in it is a part of GNX. You could almost look at it as a GNX rollout, and that's why Kendrick is a genius, because had he not dropped the project, then there would be no home for this battle.
All right, Eddie?
Yes.
That was quick.
Yes, I mean, it got all the ingredients. I mean, it's the what's it, like the bookmark of, or it was the end of something. Like the
bookend?
It's the bookend of like one of the most triumphant moments in hip hop history. Yeah, like the biggest beef, and we didn't know it was coming out. The album drops in November. We thought that was it. Like Kendrick won, Not Like Us, all these other songs. Right. Boom, we're doing the thing, whatever. Then all of a sudden we get this album, and I remember us being in the group text, like we're having conversations in the group text about this album, like as we're all kind of playing it, like, yo, he really did that. And you're also talking about like the run Kendrick was on. Kendrick's last album wasn't as well received. Like Kendrick was what, 3 for 3, 4 for 4, however you want to put it, until we got to miss him around in the Big Steppers. So there was that, like, does Kendrick even still have it, until he was having that year. So boom, we get that.
Which is fucking crazy, man. We be talking about GNX. I like GNX, but Mr. Morale, I think, is, for some reason, the overlooked capsule in Kendrick's career. It's getting more traction, it's getting more love as time goes by. I think as people's minds elevate, as the conversation in hip hop continues to elevate to other things, that album becomes more of a centerpiece of conversation. But for me personally, I think Mr. Morale might be the best album in totality out of Kendrick's catalog. That's the side of the spectrum that I sit on. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple hits on there, but it's some of the best rapping, it's some of the best concepts, it's some of the best overall songs in terms of songwriting in general. But we're not talking about that. I would put that as a classic, but we'll continue. You know, I just hate when that album comes up and people try to act like it's some sort of hitch, like, oh, he stumbled on this album. I'm like, stumbled where?
Then you get like the West Coast album, and Head, I'm pretty sure you can speak to this better than I can, that a lot of people wanted from Kendrick that we never got. He puts a whole bunch of like emerging West Coast albums on this, gets us some like official West Coast bangers. He still does the Kendrick thing where he gives us interpersonal songs as well, introspective songs as well. He gives us Dodger Blue, which ends up becoming an anthem for the Dodgers winning the World Series, going back to back and beating Toronto. So yes, to what Lo was saying, theoretically, it's too soon to call something a classic. But sometimes when you know, you know. Like sometimes when you date a girl and you go on the first or second date, you're kind of like, yo, I kind of want to make this girl my girlfriend. Like I just kind of know. And time will tell.
Don't do that.
But I think GNX is a classic. I don't know what else I would need. Like it's not gonna change for me 5 years from now. I don't think it's less of a good album. It's been a year.
Reactors praised the sonics, the LA feel, and the authenticity. And Big Kish breaks this down beautifully. He dives into how tracks like Luther, Squabble Up, and TV Off hit with that heavy, gritty West Coast bounce, how the drums feel like street celebration, how the melodies carry pride, tension, and reflection, and how every song paints a different shade of Kendrick's mindset coming out of the battle. He talks about the feel, the adrenaline, the confidence, the emotional weight, and why these records stuck to the ribs of the culture from day one.
The songs and the controversy that was around the songs. Let's get it. The first song being Whacked Out Mirrors. Now, we know when we heard Whacked Out Mirrors, the first thing we heard was, I held my Rolly chain proud. I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Woo! And then the Snoop Dogg, it must have been the edibles. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg was tripping. I pray it was the edibles. That joint went viral. He made the song Whacked Out Mirrors because somebody really whacked out his mural in California. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Number 2, we got Squabble Up, man. It was the video that did it for everybody. He had so many references. We just gonna touch on a few. But one of the first ones was the boy and the girl balloon thing, right? People thought Kendrick was having another baby, or it could have been that Drake is hiding some more children. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the double albums. You had the Isaac Hayes album. You had the Ice-T album in there. You had the Roots reference in there. And those were all double albums. You had the Soul Train Scrabble board. People still making up words on the Scrabble board. You know what I'm saying? But the main one, I think, was written in Spanish or something like that. And it was deciphered as everything means something. You know what I'm saying? But it was so much in that Squabble Up video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. You know what I mean? What did I miss? No pun intended. Number 3, we got Luther, y'all. Luther is still controversial because of the GNX with the red tarp over it. You got people still trying to break that down. What's the meaning of that? I'm still trying to figure it out. Don't nobody know. He came onto his GNX tour. He had the GNX with the red tarp over it. We don't know what this is. People were saying we getting a deluxe. We got another one. We have Dave Free. He just dropped the cryptic message the other day of light in the room, and I don't know. In the Luther video, SZA had on the same jacket that XXX had when he was unalive. That same day he was unalive, when he was in the bank, that footage of him in the bank getting the money and all of that, and in a motorcycle shop, she had on that same jacket he had. You know what I mean? That's just food for thought. Next up, we got one of my personal favorites, which is Man at the Garden. Man at the Garden is my favorite because that affirmation of I deserve it all, living in a world I don't deserve nothing, I'm not worthy of nothing. Then you say that to yourself over and over again. I do deserve it. Hold on. I do deserve it. I've been working hard for a lot of years now. I do deserve something. You deserve something. And having that affirmation, it just lets you know that you belong. It was so real. One of my favorite parts of Man at the Garden, he was like, let they blood spill. Let just paint the meat. He just wait and see. About to crash out. Can't nobody. Man. When he went, I like when Kendrick Lamar get in that pocket where he build up to something. He do that in Auntie Diaries as well. At the end, he start building up. I love when he do that build up and just go in. Next up, number 6, we got Hey Now with featuring Dodie 6. Now we know the controversy behind this. Dodie 6 had came out and was like, yeah, I ain't making no money off this GNX stuff and all of that. And people were saying that his contract wasn't set up properly for him to be getting that bread. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who to blame with that. But one of my favorite lines on the Hey Now, Say Now was, what the fuck you wearing, bro? It's tacky. Just laying on a deathbed trying to match me. It's dope when he used different types of rhyme patterns. I love that. That's dope. That's fire. Next up, this is another one of my personal favorites, which is Reincarnated. I say go look at the movie Sinners. Reincarnated was like he's coming back on this earth to make music to uplift people. He's not going to take his talent for granted anymore. And it's like people signed a deal with the devil back then and using the music for evil works. No longer doing that. I rewritten the devil's story just to take our power back. Incarnated amongst some other things. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot in that Reincarnated. And the movie Sinners matches up with it good as well. Next up, number 7, we got Mustard! Bruh, that was so important. Mustard actually got a mustard deal. Like, he got a deal with his own mustard in stores. Another thing I want to talk about, when Kendrick be doing that little voice. That's Goku. He's charging up like the Super Saiyan. He's charging up. Now, I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z, but I heard one of the Dragon Ball Z fans say this a while ago when in the midst of all of this, and I thought that was fire because he also did it on Mr. Morale's song. And he charging up, you know what I'm saying? And then he hit him with the mustard. It also featured a lefty gunplay on it. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. And everybody saying, like, yeah, he only had 4 words on the joint, but them 4 words took him far, boy. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about TVR. Next up, number 8, we got Dodger Blue featuring Wale the Sensei and, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, Sadi 7X. If I'm saying it wrong, my bad, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know who these guys are until the GNX album came out. But this song, Dodger Blue, it always put me in a mindset of coming straight out of the car wash. Your bills paid, you got on fresh socks, you got on a fresh outfit, you got the dice in the mirror, you kick back, you just cruise in the city, you ain't got a worry in the world.
West Coast album, and Head, I'm pretty sure you can speak to this better than I can, that a lot of people wanted from Kendrick that we never got. He puts a whole bunch of like emerging West Coast albums on this, gets us some like official West Coast bangers. He still does the Kendrick thing where he gives us interpersonal songs as well, introspective songs as well. He gives us Dodger Blue, which ends up becoming an anthem for the Dodgers winning the World Series, going back to back and beating Toronto.
I think it will stand the test of time is the fact that when it dropped, Kendrick Lamar he went with the right sound sonically, in my personal opinion. He went with the right sound sonically, and that's the sound like literally rooted in the West Coast hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like he really put a stamp on this is who he is, this is where he's from and stuff like that. And that was something we've never, I mean, we all know Kendrick's from Compton. We know he's from the West Coast and stuff like that. But this was definitely like, I want to say out of all Kendrick's albums, it's definitely his most West Coast album and stuff like that. He's featuring artists from the West Coast that, you know, a lot of people from the general public probably don't even know about. They probably didn't know about AZ Chika or Lefty Gunplay and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, they ran with the ball, hit a J3. You know what I'm saying? They all ran with the ball when they got those features. And, you know, they knocked it out the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, big records. GNX has also really big records. Luthor is a huge record. Like I said, when I saw Kendrick in concert, man, when he performed Luthor, man, that crowd went crazy. When he performed Squabble Up, they went crazy. When TV Off, that was absolutely insane seeing TV Off. Man at the Garden, another deep track. When I hear Man at the Garden, I hear inspirations of Nas, you know, One Mic. I hear One Mic when I hear Man at the Garden, you know. Also, Reincarnated, I think is Kendrick Lamar's one most deep, like that's a very deep record. Reincarnated is a very deep record. You know, then you have songs like The Heart Part 6, you know, Dodger Blue, another like, you know, a step song, man. One of my favorites on there, Whacked Out Murals. Whacked Out Murals set the tone of what the album is going to be. Very big records, man. So I think that Kendrick went with the right sound sonically. He didn't go with a Mr. Morale type sound sonically or To Pimp a Butterfly. He went to like, nah, I'm getting right to it. It was hard hitting, kind of like how, you know, Damn was, or, you know, Good Kid, Mad City in a lot of ways. So I think that he went with that right sound sonically, especially after the battle. Because there's another thing about GNX that some people, you know, do acknowledge is the fact that, yeah, Not Like Us isn't on there. Not Like Us is, I will say, not just the biggest, I don't think it's just the biggest diss record of all time because of what it did globally. You know what I'm saying? Now people say, oh, I like Hit 'Em Up better, or I like Ether better. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But as far as impact, we never seen a diss record make that kind of impact worldwide, right? So I think that was one thing, is that he never put Not Like Us on the album itself. So that's something else too. Like, I want to say A Punch from TDE, he talked about it. He was like, nah, the battle's over with. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the battle was over with at that time. And out of nowhere, GNX came literally out of nowhere. I remember watching the Joe Budden podcast, and they're all on there reenacting to the song, which he hasn't released yet. Everybody, I forget the title of the song, but it's the video that everybody keeps talking about. Dope song. But then out of nowhere, they like, he dropped the album. You know what I'm saying? When he dropped that album, it came out of nowhere, and it took everybody by shock again. You know, again, he's just creating moments in hip hop.
There's not one miss on this album. It's his most digestible album. I haven't had an album in so long where I can just put it on, from Whacked Out Murals all the way to Gloria, and I don't feel the urge to need to skip a song. A lot of people be giving the GNX title track a hard time. Y'all whack, okay? I love the GNX title track.
GNX isn't just an album, it's a whole era born out of the biggest hip-hop battle ever.
Dot was moving off of the post-battle energy for real, right? But he didn't include Not Like Us and Euphoria, right? And that was right off the bat, you noticed that. And that was a choice. The album was less of an all-out attack or an onslaught, and more of a where does Kendrick go for here? Where do we go for here? And there was obviously references to the battle, allusions to the battle. There was, chest beating, you know what I'm saying? For sure. Like I'm not saying that the album was completely divorced of it, but not including Not Like Us, not including Euphoria was a choice. And the album was less of like an all-out attack.
This battle, the whole hip-hop civil war and everything encompassing in it is a part of GNX. You could almost look at it as a GNX rollout, and that's why Kendrick is a genius, because had he not dropped the project, then there would be no home for this battle. But Kendrick harnessed the energy, harnessed everything that was going on and put it into a project. So even though Not Like Us isn't on GNX, it's a part of the GNX era. The GNX era to me is one of Kendrick's most classic.
It really is. A lot of people are saying it might be his best album. I don't know if I'm all the way there yet with that, but it's definitely a good album and it's worth listening to.
Final verdict. Is GNX a classic? Every reactor gives their answer. Time to close the debate. Let's see what some had to say.
The Rihanna features, yes. But I'm telling you, the cultural impact that GNX had is almost like no other. The only reason I say Good Kid, Mad City, because I remember that was like, who is this guy? Who is it? But like somehow he reinvented it to almost be like, who is this guy again through GNX? So the Super Bowl goes into the GNX. The Grammys goes into the GNX. We have now things that people say all the time. The mustard, all the different things that come from the GNX album. It damn near has changed vocabulary of people. I see way more people saying whooping feet ever since GNX dropped. I see way more people saying squabble up ever since the GNX album dropped. But let's look at beyond just the feeling, the cultural feeling. Let's actually talk about some of the accolades of GNX a year later. To go back to my theory that GNX is not just a classic album. I think it's gonna go down as one of Kendrick's most classic albums.
I think it's a classic. I think it's impactful. I think the quality of music, the replay value, it was the highest selling rap album all last year.
Just creating moments in hip hop. He's absolutely creating moments. That's one of the reasons why I think GNX will definitely be a classic, especially later on. I mean, right now, definitely has the makings of it. But one thing for me, I like to say, I like to let things marinate over year and over time. But at the same time, like when you got
Pop Pulse fam, what a ride. From the anniversary shock to Kendrick's West Coast dominance, from the Drake battle fallout to the unforgettable tracks, one thing is clear. GNX left an imprint that reactors still feel a year later. Whether you call it an instant classic or a slow burn masterpiece, the culture is still debating it every single day. If you enjoyed this perfect blend of voices, smash that like button, subscribe, and share. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is GNX officially a classic after 1 year? This is PopPulsereacts, where hip-hop history never sleeps.